It is so blatant. It amazes me more people can't see it. The dark flower affliction is worse than what COVID-19 is doing in America. And COVID-19 is a part of it. This was not an accident. This was set in motion by certain groups of Fatality, not from this country, but it was meant to create certain results. And it just so happened to kill a lot of people. That wasn't the result. It was getting control of society and also fragmenting it more. COVID served really well to do that in America. It also, the Guardians have said, just their opinion, that it is genetically targeted for certain types of cell groups, which means you'd have certain configurations in your biology and in your DNA that would make you more susceptible to it than others. And there's a bigger agenda behind it, behind the separation. The killing wasn't the objective. It was getting more controls, more fascist type controls into our systems, and also going into a forced vaccination program, possibly involving nanotech, that I'm not even going to touch that right here. But it's scary enough to go, wow, I didn't think about that twice before I do that. We won't advise you on which side of these polarity issues to take, because everybody is accountable for their own. If you feel that, strongly one way or another for one political party or another or whatever, you need to follow your heart and your soul. And reach for your soul before following your heart to make sure your heart and your soul are in check with each other. We've never seen so blatantly in our faces before the invisible drama becoming visible. And it's going to get more visible as well. There are certain positive aspects that we'll see to it. Yes, we're going to space again. Yes, because there's going to be a point in the future where a certain type of race lines will not be able to breathe the air on this planet, not just because of what they did to it, but because of the frequencies that will be here. So there's going to be a big move to try to colonize elsewhere in space, because in 900 to 1,000 years, this place will be a habitat that Guardians can live in, because they can hold the frequency. Earth's frequency is progressively getting larger and rising. And there are certain fatally fascists on the planet that know this, and they know the only thing they'll be able to use Earth for is, a kind of like a dumping ground and a resource, something to rape resources from. But for them to actually colonize, they have to colonize somewhere else that's more in a fall zone where they can actually tolerate the frequencies. So there's a big plan unfolding here, and we're seeing the little snippets of it, or not so little snippets, like with what's happening right now between COVID and then the riots right on top of each other. There's a much bigger agenda behind this. And it isn't about pointing fingers at anyone. It's just about understanding that Fatally are behind this. And right now, we are under a planetary occupation of the Dark Flower Fatally. And there's several groups of them that like to fight with each other. And that may get worse before it gets better, too. That doesn't mean we have to be, go hide in the closet and be terrified and paranoid. That's not going to help either. That's why the Guardians are giving us, first of all, they're going to give us understanding of the structures so we know what frequencies that we're going to be running are coming from. Soon we'll be able to run frequencies again, because we've been on, because of the trumpets running in the grids, it was don't play with your light body right now, because you'll just open yourself right to the reversed, frequencies of the 7 trumpet pulses. So we are, now that the activations are coming in more and more on the Guardian side, we will be able to move into more of the plasma body technologies that will assist us in protecting ourselves from all of these crazy things, and also gaining clarity vertically. If there was one gift that I could give to everybody on this planet, and it would be just the gift of clarity, because I know when I get overwhelmed with things, and I do sometimes, overwhelmed and confused and exhausted, the only thing I pray for is clarity from the Guardians. Just please give me clarity and grace so I know how to hold myself and handle myself in whatever situation it is. And if I could give anyone a gift, it would be that. And I would give it to every person on the planet, even fatally. If they could get clarity, maybe they'd stop doing that. And, be able to come home on the host way. And the ones that don't come on the host way, there was a group that were called the Christfall Budharas. They knew they were going to fall. And they were going to fall. But they chose to serve the eternal anyway. Because there was a way of peaceful space dust return, and they didn't mind doing that. You know, they've made peace with it, where it wasn't a fight, it wasn't painful, and they spent the times, the like several billion years they had left in existence before they would be brought home that way, in serving others and helping phantom fall groups to think wiser and to not fall in the first place, and trying to help first gone fall groups to not allow themselves to get stuck the second time like they did. So even with the worst of things, there's always the potentiality for the eternally positive context of existence. So anyway, next